Hey guys, it's Holly, and today I wanted to talk through some of my most regrettable things that I have done in regards to my Lego collecting and purchasing in 2022, because especially with the price of Lego increasing and the increasing amount of giant D2Cs, I feel like my spending habits have changed a lot in 2022, and even going into the year, I wanted to make some changes and try and cut back and be a little bit more responsible with what I was buying, but that didn't happen, and as always, there was things that I regretted. So the first thing that I regretted purchasing in 2022 was honestly a 2021 purchase, even though it's a 2022 set, and that was the Chinese New Year ice rink. Don't get me wrong, I think this set is like really cool and I was really impressed with it, but I ended up selling my Spring Lantern Festival. Again, it was a gorgeous set, I loved it. However, I just realized that I didn't really have space for it. I didn't really need it per se, and it was really just a waste being in my hands. So I ended up selling it just like a year after, pretty much as soon as it retired, and I'm probably going to do the same with this ice rink, because as cool as it is, and like I had plans to build it into like a Christmas ice rink, but honestly I just don't know if I'm going to be bothered at this point. I think it's a gorgeous set. It's really well done. I still might keep it and maybe just like try and repurpose it or part it out or something, but then again, the Chinese New Year sets often do become quite valuable, so I guess that will be a telling thing as to like what its secondhand market value becomes. But yeah, I regret buying it, especially buying it at full price, because I know it showed up in Kmart for significantly less like a couple of days after I bought it. On a similar note, I regret purchasing the Butthole Tiger so quickly. I mean, I was so excited for this set. Like, I was built up with all of the hype and all of my friends were talking about it, and the second I saw it, I purchased it again at full price. And admittedly, I did want to make a video on it, so I did need to have it significantly early, but again, I could have just waited a couple of days and bought it from Kmart for like $20 less. And for a set like that, which it's like, oh, it's a really cool set, but it's not particularly like a licensed set per se, like I just don't think like the value of buying things at full price for creator sets is all that like necessary. Like, I definitely should have waited and saved myself a couple of dollars, but even then I loved the set, and I'm not too mad that I paid full price just because of how funny it was, how much fun that video was to make, and I guess just like even how sentimental it is. Like, it's a really weird set for me to have like a sentimental value, but I'm a sentimental person, so there's that too. This isn't necessarily like a purchase regret, but it also kind of is, and it's that I didn't buy this used 2002 Chamber of Secrets Harry Potter set at a Bricks and Minifigs that I found in Chicago when I was there for Brickworld. I saw this, and like the day before, or even like a couple of hours before, I can't actually remember, I just bought Queen Amidala for pretty much the same amount as that entire set costs, and I just could not justify spending the money at that point, even though like I very easily could have just like converted a couple more Australian dollars and purchased it, and I really should have. It was in such good condition, the entire thing was complete, and I feel like that's going to be one of the harder Harry Potter sets for me to get my hands on in the future. Part of me though is exciting because I do like the whole like hunting aspect of all of the Harry Potter retired sets, and considering I found like a bulk lot of them on Facebook by accident once, like there's not actually that many that I have to hunt for, so I'm partially kind of grateful, but also at the same time it was just in such good condition and for such a good price. Like, I really probably should have just bought it. It's so frustrating looking back. Same deal as well with like a 2004 Hogwarts Express, not the motorized one, but like the regular one. I saw that in great condition. It was like $80 US at a Bricks and Minifigs, and I passed it up again. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was just like, oh, maybe there'll be some better deals somewhere else, and it was just like whole like, I don't know, like what if there's better situation, and it actually turns out that there wasn't better, and you probably should have bought it while you had the chance. January apparently had a lot of purchasing regrets, because another thing I kind of regret purchasing is the Hoth ATST. I think it's really cool, but I just sort of look at it and I'm like, it's one of those Star Wars sets that I just overall don't care about. Like, I feel like I'm very selective with Star Wars, and considering like it's not a super memorable thing or like super, I guess, like iconic, it's also not to scale with the UCS AT-AT and will look really out of place with my playset AT-AT. Like, I don't know why I bought it. I mean, actually no, I do know why I bought it. It's because they didn't have the Snowtrooper Battle Pack on release day, and otherwise I was walking away with like one set, and for a release day that was really disappointing to me, so I was like, oh well, I kind of like this set, let's buy it and try it out, and that's why I bought it, and now I kind of regret doing that. It's still a good set though, so I don't think I'm ever gonna like actually sell it, but it's like one of those items that if I'm like starting to get like really strict on things, like it's probably going to go. A set, however, that I did really want was the Snowtrooper Battle Pack, and I loved it so much that I bought enough that I could fill up a UCS AT-AT, because originally that was the plan. I was eventually going to buy one, not this year, but eventually, and then later in the year I changed my mind and I was like, actually, the Millennium Falcon. That's the one I'm gonna get if I'm spending that amount of money. So I bought all of these battle packs with the pure focus of filling up a UCS AT-AT, and now I have no intention ever to buy that set. So now I'm just left with a bunch of snowtroopers, and I mean, it's awesome for like army building purposes, and it's like a pretty substantial amount, and they like overall weren't that like expensive either, but they also kind of were, because I did buy a couple of them at full price, though I did actually like trade in like a bulk lot of Lego and got credit to buy some from like a local buy and swap sell sort of place going on thing that I found. So that was all right as well. So I did technically get like 5 of them, I guess, for free, just for getting rid of old junk that I didn't care about. But like I really didn't need that many. I probably could have kept out at like maybe 4 or 5 and called it a day, because I think about how much that's like cost in total, and it's ridiculous. Which then leads me into my biggest probably regrettable, and that's getting into army building, because like it's just so stupid when I think about it. And like, don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of fun army building, and like the army building video that I made is one of my favorite videos that I've ever made on this channel. So I had an absolute blast doing that, and it's so much fun to like really just make fun of that fact. Like that's what that whole video was, and that's what I do every time I think about how much money I've spent onto building an army. Like the concept is just so stupid, and it is such a big like money suck. It's ridiculous, and I have like still given in. Like I've continued to buy more 501st sets and more AATs, because I'm like, oh, they're retiring, and especially the 332nd clones, that is just gonna be like ridiculously pricey in the future. Like I'm fine. I think I've got like 6 open or something like that. Like I'm set with that. Like I don't need tons. I'm also gonna try and restrict myself a lot with like the 501st specialty packs. Like I might only get 2 or 3. Like I really need to cut down, because I like having enough for it to be an army per se, but I don't ever want to go like super overboard. Like I think I did with like the clone packs. Like I think I've got like 18 of the white phase 1 clones. Ideally, I mean, if I'm that close, I might as well get 20, but I haven't managed to pick any more up since I counted and realized that I was only 1 pack away from having a perfect 20 amount of those clones. Oh, that's annoying. It's such an addictive thing. It really doesn't make sense, but I do overall quite enjoy it. I just really need to be very, very strict on myself when it comes to building and buying and all of that with clones in the future. My battle droids, however, coming along very nicely. This next regret is a very, very personal thing, and that is just the fact that I was so harsh on the Hogwarts like carriage thestral set. I can't remember the name of it, but that small Harry Potter set from this year. I remember like when I saw this, and like when I first got it in my hands as well and built it and reviewed it, I was really, really mean to the set, and looking back several months later, I don't know what I was doing. Look, it's not the most well-built Harry Potter set. It's definitely one of the weaker small Harry Potter sets, but that being said, Harry Potter has had some of the strongest small sets ever. So I feel like I need to sort of keep that in mind. Overall, I think it's pretty good value. I mean, I love the thestral pieces. They're fantastic. The carriage actually does look really accurate. I don't know what I was like thinking, being like, oh, it's like not even that good. I think I was just like in a really like, I guess, grumpy and like judgmental mood. I was tired. I was jet lagged because I was like in the UK visiting my grandparents. Whatever it is, I was too mean on that set, but it's still not one of my favorite Harry Potter sets from the wave, but it's definitely not as bad as I made it out to be. Going back to the early months of the year though, I regret getting Thor's hammer. When this came out, I was like, whoa, that's so cool. And then like I built it and it was like repetitive and kind of boring. And then I looked at it and I was like, this is like fun in like the moment. And then afterwards I was like, actually, like I don't care about this set. So I ended up selling mine. I was just like, all right, like I'll keep the Thor minifigure and I'll just get rid of the rest of the set, because like I don't need it. I don't care for it. I don't want it on display. Like it's too big. It's like fun to like swing around or smash something or hit someone, but like after those like 10 seconds, like it's really not that exciting or interesting of a set, I think. I'm really glad though that Lego did branch out and start doing some more of like the Marvel objects, because it reminds me a lot of like the more collectible Marvel Legends type of stuff. So I hope that they keep going with that line. But yeah, Thor's hammer overall just was not for me. I feel like it was really popular and really talked about at the time, and then a ton of other sets came out that were better or even worse, and that just like took up people's attention and everyone sort of forgot about this set overall. I don't know if anyone else got that feeling, but I just feel like I haven't heard people talk about it or really seen it much in stock either. Like when I do, I'm just like, oh yeah, like that's a thing, and then move on with my life. I did another episode of Holly's impulse purchases. I regret buying a second Ministry of Magic to get a second Hogwarts Grand Staircase promo. I definitely should not have done that. I mean, originally I was like thinking about getting Grimmauld Place, and I was like, oh no, I'll get like another Ministry, and I'll do a Ministry of Magic mock. And admittedly, I did start it, like I did start building, and then I just ended up with like so many components that I couldn't really organize and didn't really have like a plan in order to actually like expand and mock like the Ministry of Magic. So I've just got like half of it built, half of it like still in the bags, and all of the minifigures just like still in the bag. So I have 2 sets of them. Really, at least at the bare minimum, I should sell the duplicate figures in like a lot or something, just to make some of that money back and get rid of the minifigures and all that. And then probably like keep all of the pieces and part it out and like break down what I built, or at least, you know, try and finish my mock sort of thing. I still like, I have plans to do something with that set. It's just like one of the things that's like on my to-do list and keeps getting pushed back because I find things that I would rather be doing or are more important for me to get done, and then I just like haven't touched it in months. Though that grand staircase is amazing, and I'm glad that I did end up with 2, but I just wish I did something with the Ministry of Magic because it did not make sense for me to have 2 of them. I didn't need it. Also, that staircase promotion then came back like a couple of days ago on like the Australian Lego stores. Like if you ordered like $100 of Harry Potter online, you got it. It was like one day only type of thing. And then I was stupid enough to then think, I should get another one and buy another duplicate Harry Potter set. I didn't in the end, but I was very close to buying a second chess set. But let me know what you've regretted out of your 2022 Lego purchasing and collecting, and also how have you sort of thinking back on the year, like how have your spending habits changed? What are you buying? What are you not buying? Because I feel like a lot of people have had a reaction in some way, shape or form. So I'm really interested to know how that affected you personally. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. I should probably put up my Christmas tree. I've been meaning to do it for like 2 days. So I'm gonna go and do that. And until next time, I'll see you later.